Hi, kiddo. It's good to see you. Well, it is, and I'm just happy that you choose to spend some evening time with me. I mean, evening time, as far as time goes, is prime real estate. Well, it is appreciated, and especially since you'll be spending more time than I'll be spending with you. Well, I remember someone told me that young brains operate on a metronome that is just ticking faster. So, by the end of this, if someone was to ask the two of us how much time has actually passed, on average, your guess would probably go for more time than mine. Yeah, I know that. Objectively, that's not making it really true, but it still feels that way, at least to some extent, and especially this time because, well, there isn't much of a plan. We're pretty much just hanging out and drinking tea and relaxing, really. Oh, I am aiming for boring pretty much. I think it's nice to do that sometimes. Just slow down things. Watch this. Yeah, this is probably gonna take a while. Oh, it will speed back up. We're waiting for the click. Almost there, I reckon. There we are. Well, I don't know about you, but it does relax me quite a bit. boiling water. Now let's just get what we need and move this to the living room. Yeah, if you could get the tray, I'd appreciate it. It's over there. There's that, and I know that's not strictly necessary, but it's just nicer that way. Don't you think a teapot just makes everything more elegant? Right, it's just part of the tea experience somehow. There is a few sorts of tea around here. The standard Earl Grey, the red one, the green one, and this one is some kind of ginger cinnamon thingy. So, what you going for? Then let's bring it. I guess technically we could bring all the tea into the living room, but even for me that would be a little overly complicated. No, I want my tea evenings to be just the right amount of complicated. There is some sort of a balance to this. There goes. The tea is here. We are here. Let's get comfy. The white cup or the grey cup? Well, that's how it is then. There you go. Now, don't get burned. You know, there's a thing that I've been meaning to ask you. Oh, well, it's as serious as you make it, I'd say. There goes. So, regarding the latest week, what would you say was the best and the worst of it? Well, I suppose it's a little out of the blue, but sometimes I feel like out of the two of us, You're always the listener and I'm always the storyteller. And don't get me wrong, it's a blessing. But I'm curious and I want to make an effort to actually hear you out, even if that effort may be considered a little square. I mean, I am a dad. I am allowed to be a little square. Thank you. Can I get that permission in writing sometime? I think I might need it. I like that one. I picked it up somewhere. Used to do that with some friends of mine, and I don't know. It's nice. We can start with the worst if you want. I feel like that's. I feel like that's a good thing to get out of the way, you know? So, what would you say was the worst thing of this week? I mean, that's fair. I feel that I'm sort of putting you on the spot here, but I mean, it's just this week. It could be literally anything from changing the life you live forever to a pebble in your shoe. It is just a single week. So, just right now for you, what comes to mind? Hmm, yeah, that sounds less than great. I'm sorry if I am devoting some attention to my tea. I just want to make it drinkable. I'm very much still listening though. It's still quite hot, but I'm sorry if I'm interrupting. You were saying. Hmm, yeah, that does sound like it could be the worst thing of a week, for sure. I appreciate you sharing. I really do. It's never too big or too small for sharing with me. I hope you can feel that. Hmm. So, in this whole thing, where is the light, would you say? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to imply that you need to actually like something about the literal worst. I'm just wondering if maybe there is some kind of hope in the whole situation, something that, there's usually a light if you look for it. The passage of time, some good intention, some good people, something that seems to make it better. And just like the worst thing in a week, the hope in the worst thing is often something we have to sort of actively look for. So, I'm asking you to look. What do you see? Hmm. So, how is that light for you? Well, I'll slurp to that. Yeah, it's still quite hot, but do please have some if you'd like. I do think the hope really is there. Yeah, I think a whole lot of my joy does come from hope, one way or the other. Well, there is other sources of light, I'd say. Like, well, obviously the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Like, that's my faith, and it does really shine in the darkest of dark for me, and it's a beautiful thing. I feel like one of the beautiful things about faith is that it's external. And same actually in that regard with gratitude. Well, at least to me, hope is something you find within yourself. Gratitude, hope, faith, they can all be part of that glow that doesn't falter, that help you find your way back, help you find strength or guidance or just perseverance, you know? Well, it often does for me. So, hmm, how is your tea? Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. It's not luxurious or amazing or much, but it's also not the point anyway. And it's also still hot, apparently. I feel like there's a point to be made somewhere about the perfect temperature of tea, which is way too hot after you prepared it and way too cold if you just leave it on for too long. I feel like we're already heading there, but let's go deliberately look for the best thing of the week for a moment. What you got? Oh, that does sound like quite a joy. Do please keep going. Hmm. it's just such a. It warms me more than my tea. And notably, my tea is still very much too hot. So, yeah. So, I mean, I don't feel like I would want to ask about where is the downfall and doom and gloom in your best parts? That seems redundant. Let's not go looking for that. But in the good parts, though, what do you bring along? You know, is there anything of that you think you'll see again? Hmm. This just makes me so happy to hear. You know. Yeah, I guess that's how it goes when you're sharing joy. Oh, sure, I guess. Hmm. No, no, I'm not escaping anything. I'll get there. I just need more time, you know? The point I'm getting to is that I really wish that this week had less Microsoft Office and more tea time, you know? It's been weighing me down some. Thank you. You just being here really makes that whole thing melt away. I mean, it is, like I said, the worst thing of the week, which is still not all that bad. And let's not forget, if I didn't do any work, I wouldn't be able to buy any tea. I think best this week has probably been our interactions. I know that feels like a simple answer, but it also happens to be true. You really do lift me up more than you seem to know. So, well, like I said, I'm very grateful. Well, thank you. This really has been the best of times. Right, I clearly couldn't appreciate how long a time it's been, but still, deeply appreciated. Hmm. And the tea is now the perfect temperature, so you should definitely take a sip. Well, the thing is, do you like it? Well, I'm glad to hear it. And I just really appreciate you being here. I know I say it a lot, but It's because I mean it a lot, genuinely, and it's important for me that you understand that. Thanks, kiddo.